I've been a Christian for 2 years. My journey started when I was younger. Brought up with a Catholic family. Um, Early years of struggling from mental health from 11, 10. And then when I was 18, I became a father for the first time to twins, Nathan and Eliza. Eliza died at birth, and Nathan was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And I went to a family pastor and I asked him why my daughter would die at birth, and he couldn't give me no answers. 5 years later, I lost Nathan, and the same thing. I went to him, and all he could give me was a prayer, and that wasn't good enough. So I carried on a spiral of addiction with alcohol and drugs, um, battling my mental health with no treatment. Uh, Fast forward to 2010, I met someone. She was pregnant. I took on the child as my own, cleaned up from drugs, and I uh, tried to go forward, but the mental health came back to haunt me even worse. And then 2016, I became homeless after the relationship split and sleeping rough, and just wondering how this could happen to me and why I'm forsaken, which was a word that I used a hell of a lot. Um, and I slowly got back on my feet. And 2018, everything came to a head. I had some health issues. On February of 2018, I took an overdose and uh, just, went to go. Didn't want to be here no more. Someone saved me, thankfully. And a bit later on that year, I lost a really close friend of mine, Diane, and it really hurt me. And my daughter, at the time, I think she was 5, said that it would be fine because we'd be reunited in heaven. And I told her that Daddy ain't going to heaven because Daddy's been a bad boy. And she cried and asked me to go to church. So I went to the Bridge Battersea for the very first time, expecting to erupt in flames and everyone to call me a sinner. And I was greeted by the most friendliest, happiest people that I've ever met in my life. And there was just something that I needed to know more about. So I went back, and on there was one Sunday, and the guy doing the preaching, the guest preacher, and he quoted Matthew 28, verses 19 to 20. Therefore, go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, and teaching them to obey everything I have commanded in you. And surely I am with you always till the very end of the age. And for somebody who thought he was forsaken, to know that this God that everyone's been teaching me about is with me, I broke down in tears, and I sat down, and I felt someone put their hands on my back. And from that moment forward, I became a Christian. I knew that I was ready to give my life to Christ.